Chapter 16, Monsters. Giants, Sphinx, Pegasus and the Chimera, Centaurs, Griffin, and the Pygmies, by Jessica Brumit. In the language of mythology, monsters were beings of unnatural proportions and possessed immense strength. They were usually regarded with terror. Some monsters were combinations of different animals, such as the Sphinx and the Chimera. Other monsters differed from men in their size, such as giants. Human giants, such as the Cyclops, were not supposed to be altogether disproportionate to human beings. They mingled in love and strife with the humans. Superhuman giants, on the other hand, warred with gods and were of vastly large dimensions. For example, Titus, when stretched along the plain, could cover 9 acres. Like I said before, these giants warred with the gods. At one time, the giants put the gods in such fear that they fled to Egypt and hid themselves under various forms. For example, Jupiter took form of a ram, Apollo became a crow, Diana a cat, Juno a cow, Venus a fish, and Mercury a bird. At one point, the giants even attempted to climb up into heaven. The Sphinx had the body of a lion and the upper part of a woman. It crouched on the top of a rock and arrested all travelers who came that way, proposing them to a riddle, with the condition that those who could not solve the riddle would be able to pass, but those who failed should be killed. No one had yet succeeded in solving the riddle, and all had been slain. Oedipus was not daunted by his account with the Sphinx. He boldly advanced the trial. The Sphinx asked him, "What animal is that which in the morning goes on feet, at noon on 2, and in the evening upon 3? Oedipus replied, "Man, who in childhood creeps on hands and knees, in manhood walks erect, and in old age with the aid of a staff." The Sphinx was so mortified at the solving of the riddle that she cast herself down from the rock and perished. You can see the Sphinx in these pictures, and these are vases from the 5th century BC. Pegasus and the Chimera. When Perseus cut off Medusa's head, the blood sinking into the earth produced the winged horse Pegasus. The Chimera was a fearful monster, breathing fire. The forepart of its body was a mixture of a lion and a goat, and had a hind part of a dragon. The Chimera made great havoc in Lycia, so the king Iobates sought for a hero to destroy it. Before Bellerophon proceeded to the combat, he consulted Polyidus, who advised him to procure Pegasus for the conflict. Bellerophon went to the temple of Minerva, where the Pegasus stayed. The winged horse came willingly and suffered himself to be taken. Bellerophon and Pegasus rose into the air, found the Chimera, and gained an easy victory over the monster. In the top left corner, you can see a picture of Pegasus rising after Medusa's head was cut off. The top right picture is of a vase from the 5th century BC of a Pegasus. The top left is of a Chimera, and you can see the lion, the goat, and the dragon body. And then the bottom right, you can see the 2 monsters fighting. The centaurs were represented as men, while the remainder of their body was that of a horse. They are the only monsters of antiquity to which any good traits are assigned. Chiron is one of the most known centaurs. He is known for his hunting, medicine, music, and art skills. He was the wisest and justest of all the centaurs, and at his death, Jupiter placed him among the stars as the constellation Sagittarius. The picture on the right is just an animated photo of what a centaur looks like, and the picture on the left is actually a statue that is in Paris, France. The Pygmies were a nation of dwarfs. They lived near the sources of the Nile. Homer tells us that the cranes used to migrate every winter to the Pygmies' country, and their appearance was the signal of bloody warfare. As you can see in these 2 photos, the Pygmies and their enemies, the cranes, formed the subject of several works of art. The griffin was a monster with the body of a lion, the head and wings of an eagle, a back covered with feathers, and long claws and talons. Like birds, the griffin builds a nest, and instead of laying eggs, it lays an agate, which is kind of like a marble, there in the nest. India is the native country of the griffins. They found gold in the mountains and built their nests of gold. Here are two pictures of the griffin. On the right, you can see the body, how it has wings and feathers of an eagle. And then on the left, there's an artwork done on a vase.